Since we are all going to be spending a lot of time inside the house and cooking most of our meals by ourselves, in this video I thought we'd show you what we've stocked up in our kitchen here in Mexico City. So as you all know, we live and travel like nomads. We've been traveling this way for over 3 years now and over 1.5 years in Latin America. We usually spend 1 to 2 months in each city, longer if we like it. We usually get an Airbnb or rent an apartment which has a kitchen so that we can cook and experiment in the kitchen. We were in Bolivia when the pandemic got serious, and as we explained in one of our previous videos, we decided to come to Mexico to stay here for a few months or longer if things get worse. So we usually buy supplies for the house wherever we are, but this time it's a bit different because we are not going to be out filming food videos and we are going to be eating all of our meals at home. So we had to stock up the kitchen accordingly. So if you are missing eating out and you want to reduce the number of trips to the grocery store, and if you want a balance between healthy food and treats, hopefully this video will give you an idea of what you can stock in your kitchen. We have 4 goals while stocking out the kitchen. 1. We want food to be easy to make while being delicious. 2. We want the food to be healthy and nourishing while being delicious. 3. We want to be mindful of what we buy so that it's not expensive and we are not wasting anything. And 4. We want to be able to create our favorite global flavors in our kitchen. So considering these 4 goals, here's what we came up with. We're going to start with fresh produce. The foundation of any delicious food is fresh fruits and veggies. Right now we have all of this. We like to have some veggies that can be eaten raw like carrot. We also have greens like spinach, which are great in salads and in green smoothies. Next we have root veggies like potato and sweet potato. Let's face it, nobody is going to survive this quarantine without potatoes. And we keep a lot of them because they last really long and they're really yummy. Next we have onion, tomato, ginger, garlic and lemon. These are a kitchen staple for us because this is what makes the food flavorful. And next we have chili. Chili deserves its own category because we really love chili. We eat chili almost like a vegetable. We go through a lot of chilies. We put a lot of it in food. We soak them in soy sauce or in vinegar. Mexico has amazing varieties of chili. Right now we have this Serrano chili, which is the closest to Indian chili. We have this Pequin chili, which is tiny and very like Thai spicy chilies. Not as spicy of course, but it'll do. And then my favorite, the jalapeno. Fun fact, did you know smoked dried jalapeno is called a chipotle? And then we also have some specific to Mexico vegetables like the poblano. It looks like a chili, but it tastes very much like a capsicum, slightly lighter than a capsicum, and it's really good in most food. Then we have nopales, which is a cactus leaf. They clean out the spikes of the cactus and then you can buy this in any supermarket here. You basically slice it up and stir fry it and it's really good. And then we have some mushrooms. We eat a lot of mushrooms. Right now we have some button mushrooms and a portobello mushroom and some shiitake mushroom. And we have some bell peppers. We go through a lot of bell peppers in stir fries and most of our food. It's really good. And we have purple cabbage and then we have some zucchini. We also cannot live without the flavor of coriander, so we have a lot of it. I usually store it in this old yogurt container with some water in it, and then I stick this thing inside the fridge and it stays fresh for quite a long time. Some mint that is about to die, I should get one more yogurt container. Spring onions. So I have a tip: if you have some spring onions and you want them to last long, just put them in a glass with some water and just keep it outside and they'll last quite a while. In fact, if the tips will also grow, so you'll have spring onions forever. Yep. Never buy me flowers, always just get me spring onions. We don't really have like a lot of other herbs like rosemary, thyme, basil, etc. because we don't use them as much and they'd probably just die in the back of the fridge. So the most important one right here we have a lot of. Next we have some frozen veggies. Frozen veggies are a great option if you can't find fresh produce or if you can't be bothered to chop fresh vegetables. Right now we have edamame and we have some frozen peas. Usually we have fruits that are local and in season. Right now we have some papaya, some apples and bananas. Bananas are my absolute favorite actually. They are my comfort fruit and I need them during this uncertain time. They're going extinct by the way, look it up. And because we are in Mexico, we get fresh delicious avocados all the time. Like you can never be more than 10 feet away from an avocado in Mexico City. Did you know avocado is a fruit, by the way? We always use it in savory things like on toast with eggs or guacamole or just plain with salt, pepper, lime. But one of my favorite ways to eat an avocado is actually something that we learned in Vietnam when we were staying with a local family for 3 months. Basically, you slice an avocado on top of crushed ice and then you spoon cold condensed milk on top. It's delicious. Let's move on to meat. Growing up, my family was vegetarian and we didn't have meat in the house, so I'm still learning how to maintain meat in the fridge and how to prep it and cook it, and hopefully in the next few months I will have that knowledge. So right now we have some chicken, bacon of course, canned fish, tuna fish, and this is also tuna fish, and this is also tuna fish. We also occasionally get fresh fish depending on what our supermarket has. And another thing that I want to put in this category is fake meat. Usually fake meat is made out of tofu or soy. Sometimes it's made of a lot of preservatives and artificial crap, which is not really good. This is a burger patty made out of tofu. It's got a lot of herbs and spices and it's really good. There's a health vegan food store down the street from our house and they always have these stocked up. Another thing that you can keep in the house if you really like soy is Nutri-Nugget or soy chunks. They were my favorite growing up. Like my parents used to call them chicken and they last really long as well. So if you like them, you should also keep some in your house. We have regular whole milk. We don't really use it for anything except for tea and coffee. You can also get vegan milks if you like. I really like soy milk, so maybe once this is done, I'll get that. I also really love condensed milk, but there's no way I'm keeping condensed milk in the house. Well, maybe if this quarantine gets really long, I'll think about it, if it's still available in stores. And then we have some yogurt. We have both sweet and savory yogurt. YoPro coconut pineapple flavored yogurt, and then this is Greek yogurt made from coconut milk. Both are really good in smoothies and just to eat like a dessert. And then as an Indian, you have to have some sort of savory dahi. I feel like curd rice is the ultimate comfort food for most Indians. Nowhere else in the world can you get dahi like how Indian moms make it. It's so tight and you can actually cut it with a knife if you wanted to, and it has that tang, sour flavor. If you cannot taste the tang or the sourness in store-bought yogurt, what you can do is just take off the cap and stick it in the fridge like this, and in a few days, like about 5 days, you'll start to taste that sourness that you're looking for. So go try that right now and come back to this video in 5 days and tell me in the comments how it changed your life. And then comes cheese. I like to have 2 types of cheese, a melty cheese like mozzarella and a cheese that you can munch on like Gouda. And then Mexico also has a lot of great local cheeses. There's cotija cheese, which is like a crumbly, powdery feta kind of cheese, and it's so good, and it was not available in the market, so I'm guessing that's like a staple in Mexican homes. So we found this Oaxacan cheese. It's also like a nice stretchy mozzarella-ish cheese. And we have some good old chicken eggs. Nothing fancy, but a staple in our kitchen because we eat a lot of eggs. We like them scrambled or fried or in an omelette. We like them Western style, Asian style, Indian style. We also love to make eggs a la Mexicana, which is basically eggs scrambled with chili, tomato and onions. It's called eggs a la Mexicana because it represents the colors of the Mexican flag, red from the tomatoes and green from the serrano chilies, which is nothing but anda burji, which is also one of our comfort foods, and you can eat it with rice or tortillas. Speaking of tortillas, let's move on to our next category, which is the carbs. So the most important thing here, as you have already guessed, my fellow Indians, is rice. We eat a lot of rice. That's no surprise. Rice is nice. So rice is really easy to make and it goes with so many things. So it's no surprise that it's like a kitchen staple. One of my favorite comfort meals is just rice, omelette and soy sauce. After living and traveling in Asia for over 2 years, that is one meal that I can eat every single day. You can have different types of rice depending on the types of meals you make. I recommend for your everyday meals getting the rice that is local to your region. Like right now we have this Mexico produced rice. You can also have jasmine rice if you like to make a lot of Thai curries. You can also have basmati rice if you like it with Indian curries, or like rajma chawal, or if you like to make biryanis. You know how desi parents, they just don't bring out the good basmati until you have guests over. I'm sure in a pandemic you can make an exception. I also have this Japanese short grain rice because I will be attempting to make sushi. Next we have rice flour. We basically only make one thing with this. It's called akki roti, and it's basically a roti made out of rice flour, chili, coriander, onion and dried coconut. coconut, and it's eaten with coconut chutney. It's like a staple in both me and Avi's homes and one of our comfort foods. Next is wheat. Wheat is also a staple in Indian kitchens if you like making rotis or parathas. We have semolina or suji. Whenever I think of suji, I think of suji ka halwa and how my dad makes it. He always puts in a ton of dry fruits and my mom is like, ayo, don't put so much dry fruit, this is so expensive. I don't know if I'll be making suji ka halwa, but I will be making upma, which I love, and it's great as a leftover. In fact, when you put it in the fridge, it even tastes better the next day. And then we have some oats. As you can see, it's almost over and there's probably like just 2 servings left. I love oats. I eat them every day. I love eating them like porridge style with nuts and seeds and berries. And it's also a great conditioner for curly hair. Don't ask. Next we have some dal. Dals are a staple in Indian homes. Every Indian home will have like a variety of dals. Right now we only have tur dal. So there's only one Indian store in Mexico City and we got all of our Indian supplies from there. But it's really far. They don't do home delivery and also a little bit expensive. So I think once we run out of these Indian supplies, we probably will not go there again. Next we have some pasta. Easiest carb ever. Sometimes we don't even need sauce. We just saute some onions and tomatoes and some veggies and toss in some pasta with some cheese. Not necessarily healthy but easy and convenient. This harina de maíz blanco, which is the flour of white corn. It's traveled with us everywhere because we like to make arepas. Usually arepas are made with the flour of yellow corn, but Venezuelan arepas are made with white corn. I really like it. It has this nice grainy texture that feels a bit like upma, so it's also become a staple in our kitchen. I have some garbanzo, which is chickpeas. I usually don't buy them in a can. I would buy them in a bag because they last really long, but we don't have a cooker and they take really long to cook on the stove, which is a waste of resources right now, so I bought the canned ones. And then we have some Vietnamese rice paper. I really enjoy making spring rolls. They come out lumpy and really ugly looking, but they're still really good. You know how in India they say if you don't make round rotis, you'll not get a good husband. So if a Vietnamese mom looked at my spring rolls, yeah, it would be over for me in Vietnam. And also we have some rice noodles to satisfy our Asian cravings. Okay, let's move on to bread. You can have different types of bread depending on what you like white bread, brown bread, whole wheat bread, oat bread, gluten-free, pita bread and whatnot. But for right now, I want just good old fluffy white bread. It's a pandemic, okay? White bread is your friend. There's no other bread that will do. And then I also have some pita bread. And saving the best for the last, we have tortillas. Being in Mexico, fresh tortillas are available everywhere all the time. In fact, Mexicans don't care about the rise in the petrol prices as much as they care about the rise of tortilla prices. The prices of tortillas rise, there have been riots.
Give me one.
No, you're just stop grazing! Let's talk about this very important category, fats. Whenever someone says, oh, this food was cooked with love, it was not. There's no love. It's these guys. I like to have one neutral oil for most of the cooking, like vegetable oil or peanut oil. You can also have one flavor oil, like olive oil for dressing. I don't have olive oil. I mean, you heard how I make pasta. I don't care for olive oil. And then you can have salted butter, which is great in toast and for stir frying vegetables. Sometimes the vegetables which are not really tasty on their own, like broccoli, stir frying anything in butter makes it really delicious. And then I have some unsalted butter as well, and I'm going to try to make ghee from it. What crazy times we live in. I'm going to try to make ghee. So now we come to the most fun part, my favorite part: the flavors, the spices, the condiments and the seasonings. Most of these we carry with us everywhere. They are the kitchen part of our suitcase. So let's start off with Indian. We have some turmeric, cinnamon, mustard seeds, cumin, powdered cumin, and both like the cumin seeds. By the way, have you tried cumin powder on top of avocados? So good. Then we have some garam masala, which our friend made for us in Peru. He runs a restaurant in Cusco in Peru. This is honestly the best garam masala. Like anything I make, I sprinkle this and I'm like, oh my god, I don't cook that well. It's this. This is my secret. And then we have some pepper. Of course, there's salt in the kitchen. We also have some cloves, some green cardamom, and then we have this chili mixed with some herbs and salt from the Uyuni salt flats in Bolivia. This is really great with like chopped vegetables and stuff. I love this stuff. Then we have some chili powder from Bolivia, from 2 different types of chilies. Look looks like Indian red chili powder, but it's way sharper and spicier. Priya pickles, not Ruchi pickles. But this is also really good. It's green chili pickle and it doesn't have that overbearing taste of garlic. I hate that in pickle. Vinegar to make like veggie pickles like pickled cucumber or carrot, which is really good in Asian food. We have some peanut butter and jam. Peanut butter is my absolute favorite. You can see this jar is almost over. I can eat peanut butter raw, like just straight out of the jar. I love peanut butter. We have some hummus. We really love hummus with like chopped vegetables or pita bread. It's now become a staple in our home. It's a pandemic. This is cheap, healthy and delicious. Coconut milk, Thai green curry paste and red curry paste. We make Thai curry a lot, like almost once or twice a week. Great for leftovers and it's really one of our favorite foods. Like the next level would actually be learning how to make the paste fresh by yourself. But for now, this will do. Puliogre powder. We are rationing this because like I said before, we don't want to go to the Indian store. And this is like very convenient and easy if you have any rice lying around. It's honestly, it's like it just smells like home. Awesome. For those of you who don't know what puliogre is, simplest way I can explain it without this being a whole other video is it's tamarind rice. We have some soy sauce. Not some, quite a bit. Actually, I bought this one and Avi bought this one, so we have two. And I was like, oh no, why did we buy two soy sauces? And as you can see, this one's almost done in the 2 weeks that we are here. So I guess our pandemic essential is soy sauce. Fun fact, one of the billionaires in the world is a Chinese soy sauce manufacturer. So why do engineering and all and stuff? We missed a boat. We have some toasted seaweed wrap because I'm going to attempt to make sushi or onigiri. And keeping with the Japanese theme, I also have black sesame seeds, which I use as a topping for a lot of things because they are really healthy. And then I also have Korean miso paste, which of all places I picked up in a small town in Bolivia. I also have some sesame oil. This just elevates Asian food. Like, I think our pandemic essentials will be soy sauce and sesame oil. And then we have some good old store-bought pasta sauce. Again, nothing great about it except that it's cheap, easy and convenient. Finally, we have some Mexican salsas. This is a salsa verde, which means green salsa. It's made with roasted green tomatoes and green chilies. It is so bomb. We just like pour it all over so many things. These are new ones which we are rationing right now, but we go through these pretty fast. And then this one is a salsa casera, which is red tomatoes and chili. It's also really amazing. And if you just buy like a packet of tortilla chips, yeah, these salsas won't stay in our house. Then finally we have Cholula hot sauce. Mexico, you get a ton of hot sauces. I think the next one I'll buy is the habanero hot sauce, but for now I really like Cholula. I've always wanted to try it and this was available, so just got this. I got a lot of hot sauces when we were in Mexico the last time in the Yucatan. If you want, you can check out that video over here to see the hot sauce collection. These are more like in the health category rather than just for food. We have some chia seeds, some flax seeds, some pumpkin seeds which are very popular in Mexico. They are called pepitas. Some semilla de girasol, which is sunflower seeds, also very popular in Mexico. With all the flavorful food that we've been eating, these things, they kind of help things to go down in a very easy way, if you know what I mean. We're almost done with this video. There's one last category left. So if you're still here and if you're enjoying this video and if we made you hungry, please give us a like. And now let's talk about the last category, snacks. Let's face it, we all know we shouldn't have too many unhealthy snacks in the house, but in quarantine, you need quarantine snacks. So right now we have some banana chips. Banana chips are like every South Indian loves banana chips, and luckily you get different types of banana chips, both sweet and savory in Mexico. Actually all over Latin America, which is great. And then I have some salted peanuts. I have some fried spicy corn. I have this protein donut, which actually negates the purpose of the protein, but I just saw it in the store and I just wanted to try it out. Lotus biscuits. I don't like them too much, but Avi loves them. We first had them when we were coming from India to the US and we got them on a Delta flight of all things. So he really likes them. I really like to leave the packet open and wait till the biscuits get really soft the next day, and I like eating those soft biscuits. I really enjoy leaving snacks open and they get soft. I really like eating those. Eating soft snacks. I know everyone's going to be like, yeah, don't dislike this video, okay? Then we have some Popcorn. I don't like making popcorn in the house because the house smells weird and burnt after making popcorn. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong even with microwave popcorn, like the timing is not right or something, so I decided to just buy popcorn instead of trying to make it. And then here are the kettle chips, the holy grail of chips. This is truly the best chips in the world. Then I have some Pulparindo Gigante. It's actually local Mexican candy. It's made with tamarind and chili. I'm sure many Indians would have had this when they were kids. These chocolate chip muffins. Thankfully, I'm at a place in my life where I can eat only one a day and be fine with it. I'm not fine with it, but I'm fine with the fact that I want them to last long, and I make sure to eat just one a day. Another really important category for us is beverages. We travel with a lot of tea and coffee with us because we work out of coffee shops and cafes, so we drink a lot of tea and coffee. And if you're editing YouTube videos, you know you need a lot of coffee. Right now we have this Manzanilla, which is chamomile tea, and then I have peach tea. Peach tea is my favorite actually. And then we have some good old green tea. And then my favorite black tea is the Earl Grey tea. Oh my god, I love Earl Grey tea so much. Black tea is actually really expensive in Mexico, so this is like a treat for me. And then I also have matcha green tea powder from Japan. I know a lot of people don't like the flavor of matcha, but I really enjoy that chalky bitterness. And then we have some instant coffee from this local brand called Cafe Garat. It's really good. When you open this bottle, this coffee smells like caramel or smells like happiness. And cafes, I want to go out to cafes. That's one thing I miss the most, I think. I want to go out to a cafe and have a cappuccino. I should be in a cafe having cappuccino. This was a gift from my friend in Peru. Her brother owns a coffee plantation. I've tried this coffee with her before, and it's really, really strong. Like you'll be awake till July. We don't really have any wine or beer or any type of alcohol. We don't keep it. I'm already having trouble sleeping at night and waking up in the morning. No need to add alcohol to that mix. Another beverage both of us really love is kombucha. This part of Mexico City where we are, there is a lot of kombucha, but we just finished a couple of bottles and we don't really want to go out and get more. And right opposite our house is Gongcha. Gongcha is our favorite bubble tea shop, and it takes so much willpower not to get Gongcha every day. Finally, we have come to the end of this video. That was a long video. That was a lot of stuff. We basically emptied our kitchen and then we put it all back. And I hope you enjoyed this video too and you got some ideas of what you can keep in your kitchen. We want to try to make cooking videos of dishes that we've picked up while traveling. So if that's something you're interested in, please let us know in the comments below. I know this is a very tough and uncertain time for all of us. Some countries are on lockdown and you cannot step out to buy supplies. The most important thing right now to remember is to spend time with your loved ones and take care of your physical and mental health, and hopefully this will all be over soon. So take care of yourselves and one another. Subscribe to this channel. We post daily cooking stories on Instagram, so if that's something you're interested in, please join us there. Tell us in the comments what your quarantine kitchen essentials are, and see you in the next one.